I am in Santa Cruz La Laguna for a cooking class today. Getting here today was a little bit tricky. I left San Marcos and took the boat headed toward Pana, because Santa Cruz La Laguna is in the direction of Panajachel from San Marcos. When I got on the boat, I made eye contact with the captain, and I was like, "Look, Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz." And he nodded his head. Then the boat goes past Santa Cruz all the way to Panajachel. So at that point, the captain and I had a little bit of an argument. I did not pay him because I specifically told him Santa Cruz, and he either ignored me or he forgot. So I got to Pana, and I had to turn around and take another boat to get back to Santa Cruz. So I got on the first boat where the captain was calling out San Pedro, because from that point in Pana, Santa Cruz is in the direction of San Pedro. However, that captain was like, this boat is not for you. I kind of got the feeling that maybe that boat was just for locals because I didn't see any other tourists on the boat. But ultimately, I don't know what that was. So he then pointed me to another boat that I had to wait for it to get moving. But finally, it took me to Santa Cruz. Needless to say, I am unnecessarily late to my cooking class, and I don't like being late to anything.
My time at Lake Atitlán is coming to an end, and I want to soak up as much local culture as possible before I leave, preferably without embarrassing myself. On my first trip to Santa Cruz, I heard about Alicia and her sister's cooking class. They're local entrepreneurs, and I'm all about supporting women and giving back to the community, especially when it involves food I can eat instead of burn. Upon arrival, everyone was offered coffee, which I don't drink. But hey, if you dump in enough sugar, eventually it stops being coffee and starts being a dessert with trust issues. Cooking is one of those life skills I missed out on, like biking and whistling. So I signed up for the class. There's a link in the description. You can't experience Guatemalan cuisine without corn tortillas. And now I've seen corn in colors I didn't even know existed. This is my chance to finally taste something beyond vanilla yellow, and maybe redeem myself as a functioning adult. They handed us smocks made from beautiful traditional Mayan textiles. Honestly, I wish they had been for sale because I was ready to start a new fashion trend. But for now, I'm all smocked up and feeling like I'm about to scrub in for surgery on a tortilla.
Sometimes it's hard to find the red one, so we use these three colors. Those have the same taste, but just the color changes a little bit. Yeah. So today we're gonna use ¿qué color naco con Alicia? ¿Qué color naco? So we're gonna use this color today, which is the yellow one. We're gonna use this. So, and we're gonna use the black one. Yeah. So the process of the dough is first we cook this for 1 hour, and then we wash very well. We put in a bowl and we take it to the big machine. We call the machine molino. The molino, so it's like a big machine. We put the corn that it's already cooked, and then the machine will grind it and it will turn to a dough. So with the corn, we just add a little bit water and doesn't have any salt. So, and then we make with this tortillas, tamales, tamalitos, or we have a lot of recipes with this dough. Yeah.
In the cooking class with me were a lovely couple from the UK, making their way through Central America, and a cheerful group of family and friends from Germany who had moved to a nearby lakeside village. Everyone showed up ready to learn. Some of us ready to chop, others just ready to eat. Alicia and her sister gave us 4 traditional Guatemalan dishes to choose from, all with vegan options. Turns out, most Guatemalan dishes start off naturally vegan, then meat just crashes the party later. Honestly, I can't remember all the options, but one of them was the legendary pepillon. Since I'd already tried pepillon on my last visit to Santa Cruz, I decided to branch out and go for the lesser-known pollo en jocón, aka Guatemalan green chicken stew, a tangy tomatillo masterpiece. Except, in my case, the chicken would be replaced by tofu because, life choices. Funny enough, the entire German crew also chose jocón with tofu, even though they weren't veggie. Meanwhile, the UK couple stuck with pepillon and real chicken because enlightenment takes time. Although we were technically making different dishes, it felt like one big team effort, like a cross-cultural cooking Avengers, but with more cilantro. Both pepillon and jocón fall under the category of recados, which are thick, saucy stews that form the backbone of traditional Mayan cuisine. I love that I'm about to cook something ancient Mayans would totally recognize, except for the tofu part. The Mayans cooked theirs over an open fire for that smoky flavor. I, on the other hand, am keeping a safe distance from anything with flames because, well, cooking skills skipped a generation in my family. Both dishes required heaps of green onions, which was perfect because I got to channel my inner serial killer chef, feeling very professional and perhaps a little stabby with the big knife. Now it's time to bring in the big stars, roasted red tomatoes and green tomatillos. I politely informed our gracious hosts that there's no such thing as too spicy in my world. They smiled, nodded, and immediately put me in charge of my own spice level because apparently no one else wanted to risk tears and regret.
Also the spicy you can just do like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of it?
Yes.
After that, it was on to the fun part, mashing them down in the pot like they owed me money.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling. This heavy load got under your skin, howling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right.
After giving everything a good mash workout because it's basically culinary CrossFit at this point, It was time to stir and roast the tomatillos with a little more onion, because why stop at just enough onion when you can add emotional depth? Meanwhile, the tofu was browning like it just got back from a tropical vacation. Then, I dumped in enough chopped cilantro to make it look like a tiny forest moved in, and let the flavors mingle like guests at a really exclusive salsa party. Once those tomatillos hit peak roastiness, out they came, ready for their next gig, replaced in the pot with the crisp green onion I maliciously chopped earlier. I'll probably never see my cooking companion again, and she'll never know just how much her words stayed with me, or that, in my heart, I adopted her as my Santa Cruz La Laguna mother. Her advice was more than conversation. It was a gift, quietly shaping the way I see life.
It's okay? That's okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're doing great. Thank you so much.
Some things are international for women.
I am not there. I do not know what they're really going through. There's a lot that I assume. Freedom I get from the work that I do. Thoughts that I choose. Feelings I soothe. Finding the mingle of ease. Loving what is.
My tofu has reached perfection, a cilantro-infused golden canvas awaiting the next strokes of flavor. I've been told that pumpkin seeds and finely chopped bell peppers hold the secret to elevating jocón to a true masterpiece. But before we get there, we arrive at my favorite part, the one steeped in history. Before me lies the same type of grinding stone I once marveled at behind the glass in the Popol Vuh Museum in Guatemala City. Now, with my own hands, I'm grinding tomatoes and tomatillos upon the very stones the Mayans used centuries ago, feeling a tangible connection to an ancient tradition that still lives on in every motion.
Looks easy.
Okay, you can try. We have this one and this one. You can use any.
Tortillas are a staple of life in Guatemala. Kind of like French fries back home, except way classier and without the guilt trip. I've never made one before, so this will either be a cultural experience or a comedy show. These tortillas are way thicker than the ones at restaurants, like they've been hitting the gym. And the best part? They come from different colors of corn, so it's basically a culinary rainbow on a plate.
Drive right
We've been handed a delicious hibiscus hot tea, perfectly sweetened with that Rosa de Jamaica flavor strutting through like it owns the place. Meanwhile, the fridge is stripped like a college dorm after finals, and the last preparations are happening behind closed doors. All the participants have been banished from the kitchen like we're on some cooking reality show. Alicia, her sister, and their crew are holding down the fort. The veggies are cooked. The tofu is spiced. The tortillas are baked. I did not expect a blender to make an appearance. But honestly, I get it. Everyone's hungry, and at this point, we'd probably puree the table if it cooked faster. At long last, the feast we all heroically helped prepare was on the table. Actually, Alicia and her crew are the heroes. For someone who doesn't even cook for myself, let alone risk feeding other humans, this felt oddly rewarding. Everything tasted amazing, and everyone loved it enough to go for seconds. I finally got to try the tortillas made from the mysterious bluish-black corn, and, drumroll please, they tasted exactly like the yellow corn ones. Either my palate isn't fancy enough, or tortillas are just playing a big color-based mind game on us all. Still, I'm proud I stepped out of my comfort zone and into the kitchen without burning it down. Just when I thought the culinary adventure had ended, surprise, dessert time. Enter rellenitos, an adorable and slightly dangerous Guatemalan favorite. They start with mashed sweet plantains to make a velvety dough, then get stuffed with cacao, cinnamon, and ginger like a tropical chocolate secret. Each one is shaped into an egg-like ball and fried to perfection. I tried rellenitos once in San Juan La Laguna, and while they weren't bad by any stretch, they also weren't the dessert my sweet tooth was expecting. This time, though, I get to make them myself. Extra sweet, extra chocolatey, and possibly extra questionable. Wish me luck.
I wish I could try the chocolate.
You want the chocolate by itself?
Yes.
Just try it. Nobody's gonna stop you.
Huh?
Nobody's gonna stop you. What do you think?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
You two are absolutely adorable.
To the untrained eye, everything sizzling in the frying pan looks exactly the same. But not to me. I've secretly marked my creations so I can identify the extra sweet, extra chocolatey indulgences of my dark, dessert-obsessed mind. They may not win any beauty contests. In fact, they look like something from a caveman's Easter basket. But I just know they're going to taste amazing.
Is it good?
It's so much better this time.
they put make it mine.
Oh no, it's mine. I watched her make it, like a hawk. I watched her make it.
But then she said we can that the will keep mine.
I am on the road headed out of Santa Cruz La Laguna. I had a wonderful cooking class. It turns out, even though I was late, there were people who were later than me, more late than me. Either way, it worked out pretty well. Alicia and her sister could not have been kinder people or more patient with us. Not only was the food good, tuk-tuk drivers are kind of crazy. Not only was the food excellent, but I got a chance to redo the rellenitos, which I had previously had and didn't love. But this time around, I got to make it myself. And it was very good, and I even have a to-go box para llevar. So all in all, no complaints. Honestly, could not have had a better experience. And I'm kind of sad to be leaving this cute little town.
Big thanks to Alicia and her sister for turning this clueless non-cook into a slightly more confident non-cook. If you're ever in Santa Cruz La Laguna, I highly recommend their class. Link in the description. Stay curious, be inspired, find freedom, wander elsewhere. I'll see you in the next one. Would you attend a cooking class on vacation? Comment below. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. Drop a comment or respond to the prompt below.